Once we've outlined a model and we know basically what it is that we want to do in construct, we have our outline, we can move on to filling in all of the pieces with code. We just call that model implementation. What we learned is that we can sketch a model structure often without knowing any of the details in between. A lot of that has to do with knowing what the inputs and the outputs should look like and a basic idea about how those inputs should be transformed to the outputs. On paper and in a publication, when you sketch things, it's very useful to make diagrams. Those diagrams make it much more graphically clear what it is that you're doing. Here, we wrote the outline of model code and what each component is supposed to do. This is actually really useful too. For those of you who haven't had a background in software engineering, planning things at the code level should mirror these diagrams, but it looks different. Still, incredibly useful to engage in the structure on a regular basis that we just went through in the previous tutorial. As we implement the model, your goal is to fill in the gaps by putting together the mechanisms that you know should be there in the right order in order to take your inputs and convert them into your outputs. We implement the functions. These functions will have the parameters that we previously identified. They should operate on the inputs, use the operations that you've identified in terms of your key ingredients, and the outputs should be correct, corresponding to the things that you're supposed to be outputting. Here, it should be the percepts that our simulation observer are generating. Model implementation, you'll complete each model element in the draft. All of the empty function placeholders will now have something in them. And each component, you want to make sure that for the inputs, you're getting the outputs that you expect, which is called unit testing in code design. Right now, let's go and fill in our model component functions.